Today we're playing a Legacy Storm deck featuring Fractal Anomaly from Secrets of Strixhaven to create a super large creature before giving it trample and haste using Impolite Entrance. This is a wild one. Let's go check it out. Let's begin by thanking Matthew Basquette for today's donation deck. Matthew wanted to see Fractal Anomaly from Secrets of Strixhaven in a Legacy Storm shell, so that's what we're making happen. So this is a 1 blue instant where you create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature where it gets +1/+1 counters, and those counters are equal to the number of cards that you've drawn this turn. So how do we take advantage of this? Well, in Legacy, the easiest way is Echo of Aeons, a card that I love in my Storm strategies, because you can play Echo of Aeons on the first turn, cast a Fractal Anomaly, and already have a 7/7 creature on the first turn. That said, we have other ways to draw cards in this deck, like Song of Creation. This can draw your entire library, creating a mighty large fractal creature, and then we get to attack with it by giving it trample and haste with Impolite Entrance. So this is how we beat things like Veil of Summer, for example, because you're not targeting your opponent. You're creating a super large creature and then bashing your opponent's face in with it. We also have, wherever it is, Artist Talent. This is another great way to draw through your library if you don't have a Song of Creation, often paired with something like Echo of Aeons. We are playing Veil of Summer in this deck that is looking to draw its entire library because we need to beat things like Orcish Bowmasters. We also have Hexing Squelcher, so we have multiple ways to protect our combo, and that's sort of the idea here. I've played other strategies like this here on the Epic Storm in the past, but I think that Fractal Anomaly, while it may look cheeky, might be what the deck needs because it allows a low resource win, and I know that just Echo of Aeons into a 1-mana large creature pass doesn't seem very, desirable, but I think a low resource win is actually what this deck does need because casting Song of Creation can sometimes be a little difficult. So having this backdoor win condition to act like an Urza Saga construct might be nice to have. One really cool thing about this deck, in my opinion, is that we get to play Fear, Fire, and Foes to beat the One Ring. Because when you make your giant Fractal Anomaly creature, then you can play Fear, Fire, and Foes, and it says damage can't be prevented this turn, which shuts off protection from the One Ring. You then play that Impolite Entrance, giving your creature trample and haste, and then you attack. Because damage can't be prevented, your opponent loses the game. So we found a really subtle way in order to beat the One Ring, featuring another card from the Lord of the Rings set, which I think is just kind of funny, and I happen to like that. So today we're playing this Temur Storm deck with a brand new Secrets of Strixhaven card, and I'm pretty excited about it. I really do believe that Fractal Anomaly is going to be a lot of fun, but I also think it's going to be secretly better than you might expect. Let's see if that's true in the games, and I will see you in the first one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1 with Fractal Anomaly Legacy Storm combo. We are on the play. So we have Echo of Aeons. We have Gamble to go grab a Lion's Eye Diamond. I will keep. We'll play Taiga and cast that Gamble. Select the Lion's Eye Diamond. Veil of Summer to the graveyard. We'll play the Diamond. Mox Opal. And it looks like our opponent has hit the F6 key, giving me a little bit of information here. Unfortunately, I did not hit a win and we have to pass. We have a Bayou Mox Diamond. Gets rid of Underground Mortuary. 2 mana here. Witherbloom Command. So they got back a Wasteland. It looks like they're on the Loam deck. We draw another land. We'll play Scalding Tarn and pass. Thoughtseize, I will fetch. Grab Commercial District. Get rid of the Mox Opal. Play Veil of Summer. Another land. We are flooded. They play Wasteland. Destroys Taiga. We draw another Mox Opal. Pass the turn. My best draw is likely Chromox because then I could play Song of Creation and trigger with the Mox Opal in my hand. But they have a second Thoughtseize. We are in a lot of trouble here. Goodbye to the Song of Creation. We will fetch. Go grab the Thundering Falls. We only have 1 fetchable left in our deck. Do I even want Gamble? I suppose. Let's attempt to gamble. And I think I just want another Song of Creation. Although I have 2 cards I don't want to discard, which might be problematic. My concern is a Witherbloom command blowing up the Artist Talent. I'm going to choose Song of Creation. And I discard the land that would let me cast it. I knew the downside when I did it. So now I need to draw a Lotus Petal or Chrome Mox. And step, they have Orcish Bowmasters to make me regret every decision I've ever made. Yep. They have a Ghost Quarter. We have no basics. I'm going to just concede here. That was brutal. Off to game 2. I just realized this deck does not have a dragon in it. I feel like that's probably a little bit of an oversight. I think you want one in your gamble deck. Because I was thinking like, oh, we could theoretically board out the dragon. No, we can't. There is no dragon. We'll bring in 3 Boomerang Basics and a Beseju who endures. Getting rid of the Hexing Squelchers. And then I need one more cut. Maybe a fetch land. We're not playing Brainstorm, so I think that's actually okay. Let's try this. Game 2 on the play. I mean, I like Veil of Summer in the matchup. Burning Wish doesn't actually get anything. I think this hand is a trap. I'm going to mulligan. And I think I'll keep this one. This one could allow me to echo pretty quickly. Get rid of the Volcanic. They have Leyline of the Void. We'll play Misty Rainforest and pass. They have a turn 1 Hatchery, but no discard spell. We will fetch and grab Commercial District. This is not a great card here. I will surveil that to the graveyard. Boomerang Basics. So I can bounce the Leyline and then put an Echo to the graveyard. We will bounce Leyline of the Void. Play Chrome Mox. You have Force of Vigor? Is that what this pause is? We'll imprint the Rite of Flame, play Mox Opal, and gamble. Echo of Aeons. Pass the turn. And step they tap their Emidian Hatchery. And now they have Damping Sphere. Lovely. Wow, I actually ripped the boom. I need 1 more mana to echo. I think I'm just going to echo anyway. And by 1 more mana to echo, I mean 1 more mana to Boomerang Basics and echo. But I'll just draw the new hand. And I don't think I can cast the Petal, so I will pass. They play a Verdant Catacombs, Mox Diamond, discards Verdant Catacombs, Smallpox. I'll get rid of Veil of Summer. We'll sacrifice the Commercial District. We draw Taiga. So I could go Boomerang Basics into Artist Talent into Lotus Petal Rite of Flame. I think I'm going to try this turn. We'll bounce the Damping Sphere, play the Artist Talent, play Lotus Petal, discard Burning Wish, play the Rite of Flame, discard a Gamble, and now I'll gamble, discard the Wooded Foothills, and I'm a mana short of Echo, but I can put another Echo to the graveyard. That doesn't really help me a ton, though. Well, technically, I can't even put it to the graveyard. It's a 50-50 to go to the graveyard. But I will select Echo, and I discard Song of Creation. Pass the turn. On my end step, they surveil with Underground Mortuary, and they have Witherbloom Command. That hurts. Now Damping Sphere is back. They attack for 3. Burning Wish. I could get Pulverized, but like that's not an amazing option here. Burning Wish. We'll go grab Boomerang Basics. Pass the turn. They have Witherbloom Charm, sacrificing another Emidian Hatchery. That is a Hogak Arisen Acropolis. Okay. My time is running out here, so now they're going to swing and put me to 11. They have lethal next turn. Burning Wish I don't think wins. I could go Burning Wish into Fear Fire Foes, and that would buy me a turn. Am I understanding this right? So Burning Wish costs 2. Fear Fire Foes would cost 3, and I'd lose my Petal. So if that's the case, I could just bounce the Hogak and next turn Burning Wish for Pulverize. Because I think either way I'd have to draw exactly Lion's Eye Diamond. Bounce the Hogak. Oh, I spent 2. Whoops, I might as well Burning Wish for Pulverize this turn then. Pass the turn. And step they use Beseju who endures. We'll grab Thundering Falls, which actually gives me another look here. This is another draw step, because I can bounce the Hogak. So we'll keep that. Although maybe it's the same as me just surveilling it away. I don't know. They're going to attack for 3. This will put me to 8. And now they fetch. They play a Mox Diamond. Hogak is back. We'll bounce the Hogak. Pass the turn. So now I go to 3. Smallpox puts me to 1. So it guarantees my ability to echo, but now an Orcish Bowmasters kills me. Oh, I guess it got rid of my second land, which I wasn't thinking about. So we can bounce the Damping Sphere here because I got lucky and drew Boomerang Basics. The 4th copy. Oh, I'm not at 1, I'm at 2. I'm just punching all over the place, apparently. I mean, not really a punt, just not observing correctly or observing. This hand does not win the game. Cool. Alright, well that was an ugly match number 1. We did not do the thing. I like doing the thing, so hopefully we get to do the thing in match number 2, and I will see you there. Packs.com is the new way to open your favorite cards. It's a site where you open digital packs of trading cards like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and One Piece cards, and have the cards you open mailed quickly and securely to you. With a wide range of packs to choose from, such as the latest Magic sets, Kaladesh Inventions, or even Beta. I'm going to open a Beta pack. What's great about Packs.com is you can see all of the cards and their odds of being opened in each pack. Now it's time to open one and see what I get. Come on, Black Lotus! If you don't like what you opened, you could sell it back instantly for more packs, or sell it and pick a specific card from the marketplace over at packs.com/market. If you want to check out packs.com, make sure to click the link in the description of this video and use code STORM5 when making a purchase for 5% extra on your first purchase. Well, let's try to bounce back in match number 2. We are on the play. I am able to hardcast Echo on turn 2. I think that's worth keeping. We'll play Misty Rainforest and pass. They have a Marsh Flats, okay. Or Scrubland and a Guide of Souls. So likely Energy. We'll fetch with the Misty Rainforest. Grab a Thundering Falls. Get rid of this Song of Creation that does not help me. I remember the last time I played a deck like this, my feedback at the end was that Song of Creation is surprisingly difficult to cast. And I think that remains true. Using Dark Ritual to beseech the mirror into it remains the most effective way. We'll play Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame, and now an Echo of Aeons with no mana floating. Storm is 5. Okay, so we hit the Fractal Anomaly. So I will play Fractal Anomaly. We now have an 8/8, and I can spin the wheel on Echo again. Okay, I don't know exactly what this does. We have another sideboard Echo, or I can empty the Warrens. Play Rite of Flame. We will cast Burning Wish. We'll do blue. Actually, I think I'm going to Echo again. I'll just leave the blue mana floating. We'll grab the sideboard copy of Echo of Aeons. I'll make red here. Flashback Echo of Aeons. Storm 15. So now I have the Song of Creation. We'll play it. Play the Tropical Island. Lotus Petal. Trigger. Sacrifice the Lotus Petal. We'll play Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. And now I think I have the win. We'll play Burning Wish. Yes. I will grab the Impolite Entrance. We'll play Mox Opal. Oh, I have double Impolite Entrance. Nice. So now we'll play Chrome Mox. I definitely have enough to win now. Imprint the other Song of Creation. We'll play the Fractal Anomaly. How big is this one? 36. We'll give it Trample and Haste. And now we'll give this one Trample and Haste. We have successfully done the thing. Go to combat. Love it. Nice. Alright, well we win game number 1. We are going to want Boomerang Basics and the Visager Who Endures. Likely don't need Hexing Squelcher. Maybe we'll board out one Veil of Summer this time and try this out. Game number 2 on the draw. This is a pretty easy mulligan for me. This is a keep. We'll get rid of Song of Creation. Yeah, I think Song of Creation. So you run the downside of a turn 1 Thoughtseize hitting Lion's Eye Diamond, which this Cabal Therapy might also do. But I think you're so far away from Song of Creation that you could always just draw another, or another Lion's Eye Diamond or something like that. And they do blind name Lion's Eye Diamond and hit. We'll play the Thundering Falls, get rid of the Veil of Summer, play out the Mox Opal, pass the turn. They have a Caracas, Guide of Souls, and an Ocelot Pride. Good open. Another Song of Creation. I will pass. Looks like my decision to bottom the other one worked out. They swing. Ouch. And now they have Thoughtseize, so yeah, we are still in trouble. They take the Song of Creation and now they have Wasteland. Really need to find another copy of Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll grab the Commercial District. Get rid of the Volcanic Island. The Lotus Petal. I think I am going to Boomerang Basics my own Opal here. Maybe it's foolish, but I think holding this while they have a Cabal Therapy in the graveyard doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I'm going to give myself the opportunity to draw into a diamond. We'll play the Opal, and then we'll play Lotus Petal and pass. This would punish our opponent if they were to play another copy of Thoughtseize. Shadowy Backstreet gets rid of basic planes. Now they'll attack. They can use the Guide of Souls pump here. So it looks like I'll be taking 6 down to 9. Alright, I'm at 9. They're at 26. Burning Wish. This has no way of grabbing a card to discard Echo. I guess I could go grab like a Boomerang Basics. Yes. So I'm just confirming I'm not dead. I'm going to be hit for 7 next turn. Okay. That leaves me not dead. I can still use the Wooded Foothills. They swing. Ouch. I am at 2. Oh, why didn't I use the Boomerang Basics last turn? I even talked about this on the previous turn cycle with the Cabal Therapy in the graveyard. Oh, Bryant. All I wanted to do was cycle the Boomerang Basics. Can't take me anywhere. We'll fetch down to 1, which means I'm dead to an Orcish Bowmasters at any point. And let's see the draw. That does not do it. Okay. Let's go to game number 3. On the play. Here we go. Keep. We will play Scalding Tarn and pass. They have a Silent Clearing and Thoughtseize. We will Veil of Summer this. Grab the Taiga. Veil of Summer. Mox Opal, okay. Fractal Anomaly. I think we're supposed to try to Echo here. We'll grab Volcanic Island. Play the Lion's Eye Diamond. Part of me just wants to Burning Wish for Echo and pass. My concern is getting hit by Mindbreak Trap. And we have the Boomerang Basics to protect us from a hate piece, so I think I'm okay just passing here. They play Arid Mesa for Plateau. Amped Raptor. It's Cabal Therapy. Okay. They blind hit a Burning Wish. This opponent's pretty good at it. They're blind Cabal Therapy names. Alright, let's see the draw. Another Fractal Anomaly. So, one of my gripes with this card, and I think it's a super fun card, but until you're winning, it does nothing, which I think is a little bit problematic. We'll just begin by playing Storm 1 Echo of Aeons. Let's play our land, we'll fetch, grab the Tropical Island, Artist Talent, and then we'll play Mox Opal. I would need like a chain of incredible draws here in order to win. We'll get rid of Misty Rainforest, play Chrome Mox, discard Misty Rainforest. Okay, well I mean that was pretty good. We'll exile Impolite Entrance, play Fractal Anomaly, we'll discard the Commercial District, and now I have an 11-11. Pass the turn. So what we just saw is the upside of Fractal Anomaly, which is we were in a spot where we were going to fizzle. In any traditional list, we did not have enough resources to win. Instead, for a single blue mana, we received an 11-11 creature, which is just very powerful. They play a Badlands, and they have a Thoughtseize. Unfortunate. And now they have an Ajani, Nakato Faraya. Let's play the Mox Opal. Wait, I forgot I don't have anything to discard. That was just very dumb. What am I even doing? I should have held that. We'll level up the Artist Talent. That was real bad. Pass the turn. I don't think there was a point in attacking and just letting them flip the Ajani. Now they have a Wasteland. And Nullrod. Lovely. No blocks. Goblin Bombardment, so they can flip the Ajani anyway. I go to 14. Now I'm at 12. This is going to be a very difficult game for me to win. I suppose I'll attack the Ajani. And they fling the cat at me. I'm at 11. Amped Raptor. Finds Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, we've lost. Now they have a Voice of Victory. The Ajani's going to deal me a bunch of damage. And I'm dead. So we are now 0-2. We got to do the thing, which is awesome. I'm happy about that. But unfortunately, this happens every time I'm asked to play one of these Song of Creation Artist Talent decks. I'm not trying to sound mean here. These decks are underpowered. Song of Creation is not a playable card and was not a playable card pre-Beseech of the Mirror for a reason. You're just asking these decks to do too much. And Artist Talent and Song of Creation work really well together, but they suffer from the same issues. You're weak against Force of Vigor, Besage Who Endures, anything that would destroy artifacts or enchantments. And you're just making your deck really weak to the same things. And it's a little problematic, but I don't know. Like the last time I was asked to play one of these decks, I was told, or I said at the end that I'm not going to play them for a while until something changed. Fractal Anomaly is the change. It's just, is it actually good enough? I don't know. It was certainly awesome to win game one, but I don't think it solves any of the issues. But I could be wrong. Let's, play a couple more matches and find out. But for now, we're 0-2.
Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 dark rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in one envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just one.
Welcome to the third match. We're on the draw. I will keep. I do not know what the opponent's playing, but in theory, you could go turn 1 Misty Rainforest, Rite of Flame, double gamble, and spin Echo. That said, not if our opponent plays a turn 1 Thoughtseize. They take Veil of Summer, which I do not care about, but we do need to win the gamble flips. So I have to get a little bit lucky here. We will grab, I don't know, Taiga, Rite of Flame. So I need to not discard Lion's Eye Diamond or the other gamble. So we need to keep 2 of 5. Lion's Eye Diamond, we discard Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll play gamble, and they have Force of Will. Exiles Brazen Borrower. Okay. They pass the turn. We draw Artist Talent. I will pass. They drew their second land into Flow State. We will pass the turn. Another copy of Flow State. Alright, we drew our second land. We will play Hexing Squelcher. Pass the turn. They have a Snuff Out. So this is likely Dimir Tempo. I wasn't sure if it was Doomsday or not. Alright, I've lost this one. I'm going to go to the next game. We'll bring in Carpet of Flowers, the Boseiju Who Endures. And then the question is, do you want to get rid of something like Mox Opal or Rite of Flame? I think I'd prefer my cards to just be higher power level against something like Dimir Tempo. So I'm going to remove synergy of Mox Opal in order to have both Rite of Flame and Carpet of Flowers. And we'll try this. On the play for game 2, I will keep, play Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. They have an Undercity Sewers. I'll fetch with the Misty Rainforest, and we'll grab Thundering Falls. Don't think I want the other Surveil Land here. We'll get rid of that. Fractal Anomaly. We'll play Boseiju Who Endures. Chromox. We'll imprint the Fractal Anomaly. Try Artist Talent. It resolves, and we will pass. So I have one concern with my decision on the Chromox imprint, which is if we're hit by a Wasteland, my hand doesn't really function. But the Fractal Anomaly was by far the worst card in the hand, which is why I made that decision. They fetch now with the Polluted Delta and a Thoughtseize. I will attempt a Veil of Summer, and I'm not going to discard either card because I like both of them. They Force of Will, exiling Spell Snare. Wow. Okay. They take the Burning Wish, Hexing Squelcher. Okay. We will play it. Pass the turn. They play a Flow State, Basic Island, and now a Brainstorm. We'll begin by attacking, and I think I'm going to just level up the Artist Talent here. Might be a little bit greedy, but in order for me to gamble an Echo of Aeons this turn, I have to gamble, discard to the Artist Talent, hope to draw a Mana Source, and then win the gamble by discarding Echo, play the Mana Source, and then flash it back. There's a lot of what-ifs there. So now they have another copy of Flow State, they play a Swamp, and they pass the turn. We will fetch, grab Taiga, play Gamble. I don't think I'll discard. Select Echo of Aeons. And now we will attempt to flash back Echo. It would be foolish to discard here because if your opponent has an Orcish Bowmasters, they can kill your Squelcher. And it looks like they have a Hydroblast. Kills my Hexing Squelcher. And they do have a Force of Will. I will pass the turn. They have 3 cards in their hand. Harbinger of the Tides. I'm sorry, Harbinger of the Seas. And I now have no red mana. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond, discard Gamble, pass the turn. They swing, I go to 16. We'll play Lotus Petal, discard Wooded Foothills, pass the turn. And step they have Orcish Bowmasters. They attack for 4, I'll go to 11. Cameo Inquisitive Student. A Song of Creation that I cannot cast. We will pass the turn. Another Orcish Bowmasters, why not? Why not? They attack. I'm at 4. I don't think I have an out with Burning Wish. Because my sideboard just, like, doesn't have anything in it. Ugh. Like, there's no Beseech the Mirror. There's nothing to answer creatures. Like, this would actually be a pretty good cave-in deck, because your deck has so many red cards in it. So I think there's one way we win this. And it requires me to Echo into Bowmasters, and then get lucky and draw Veil of Summer off of the Echo. So I'm going to cast Burning Wish. We'll make red. Actually, no, I can't do that. I have to just let this resolve. Because I want to flashback the Echo, but use Lion's Eye Diamond to... They have another Hydroblast. Alright, so we're just getting our teeth kicked in. We are now 0-3. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 4. Let's see if we can get a win on the scoreboard. So this is sort of the problem I was describing, I believe, last match, where Fractal Anomaly does nothing until you're already winning. And we don't have the mana to cast the Sideboard Echo of Aeons, which is our only Sideboard Storm Engine. We must mulligan. I mean, I guess you keep this? I don't know. So we can hopefully draw a mana to play turn 2 Song of Creation, discard the Echo. Play Lotus Petal, and I will play Chromox and print the Fractal Anomaly and pass the turn. We're getting oopsed, and our deck has no sideboard Leyline of the Void. At least it will be fast. Yep. So they're on Pact of Negation, so they're probably on the Goblin Charbelcher juke. I'm only seeing Elvish Spirit Guide, so they do not have Force of Vigor. Okay. We do not need Hexing Squelcher. We can bring in Boomerang Basics and resubmit. Actually, I'm going to bring in the 4th Boomerang Basics and the Beseiju over the Veil of Summers. Veil of Summer does not help me. Game 2 on the play. This hand does nothing. We will mulligan. This hand also does nothing. Down to 5. We will go down to 4. Down to 3. Okay, this hand is capable of winning. We just have to win our gamble flip. We will fetch with the Wooded Foothills. Grab Volcanic Island. Gamble. Select Lion's Eye Diamond. And I will cry myself to sleep and pass the turn. They have their land, Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, Beseech the Mirror, Great Goblin Charbelcher, and they pass. We'll play our land, pass the turn, and apparently they don't have the additional mana. We will Surveil. Guess we keep the Boomerang Basics. Bounce the Belcher. Pass the turn. They play a Cabal Therapy, sure. They name Force of Will. Okay. I will play Lotus Petal and pass. They have found their second land. Fractal Anomaly. What a great draw, am I right? Ooh, that's good. Pass the turn. They have Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Goblin Charbelcher. I think they thought they had Threshold and they did not. But we drew another blank. We will pass. I wasn't paying attention. This is on me. I should have played Fractal Anomaly in response. I just clicked OK so quickly. Bummer. That's on me. I'm sorry, Matthew, for submitting the donation deck, and I'm just so defeated that I clicked through an important situation. And they drew their 3rd mana. So even if I had made the correct play, I'm acknowledging that I'm dead and that I messed up. But let's say I did play Fractal Anomaly, Flashback Echo. I am dead to Dark Ritual or Spirit Guide Dark Ritual or double Spirit Guide. I might have said Dark Ritual twice there. Spirit Guide, Cabal Ritual, or double Spirit Guide. I was dead to a lot of cards, I guess is my point. All my opponent needed to do was draw mana off of the Echo and kill me. So we went 0-4. I do have a rule here on the channel, which is if we go 0-4, I do not play out match number 5. So Matthew Bascat, thank you for the donation deck. I'm sorry that it did not go well. We did get to do the thing exactly once, so we were able to accomplish that, which I'm pretty happy about. But ultimately, this is not a viable deck, and I don't think it's because of Fractal Anomaly. That said, Fractal Anomaly certainly does not help. Having a card that does absolutely nothing unless you're already winning isn't legacy power level, unfortunately. But I think the bigger issue is that the engine that our deck is built on is flawed. For Song of Creation and Artist Talent, it just loses to too much of the same stuff. Like, your deck is just really weak to Force of Vigor and other effects like that, as we saw in match number 1. And I've played a bunch of these decks before. I think I just need to ban them from the channel, if I'm being honest, because I don't enjoy playing them, if I'm just going to be frank with you, and all they do is lose. So unless there's something truly revolutionary, I don't know why I keep on bashing my head against a wall. It's frustrating, and I'm sorry that it is this way, and that's sort of why I felt so defeated that I clicked through the Thoughtseize in that last match, but it's just not fun playing a deck that you know doesn't stand a chance of winning in today's Legacy. So that's all I've got for today. I'm sorry that, it was a mess of a league, but I think it's also important to show that everybody loses, including me. I lose a lot, so yikes. I hope you have a better day than I did. Keep storming. Thanks for checking out today's video. I really do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff in order to support us. Another way you could support us, picking up an Epic Storm mini token combo pack from the epicstorm.com/shop, and it would have made playing this video much easier if I had an efficient way of counting my storm and mana.